reason, give or take, the internet always has to be involved in some sort of toxic fandom of a video game. First it was Five Nights at Freddy's, then it was Undertale, and now it's this new game called Bendy and the Ink Machine. And it really is a shame because these otherwise games that would be pretty good have to be ruined by the absolutely horrible fan bases they have. So just like there's a lot of cringeworthy FNAF art out there and a lot of cringy Undertale art there is a lot of cringy Bendy art out there as well. So in this video we're going to be taking a look into that. Okay, I have to say that I completely agree with this little message here, but it does seem kind of random that you have Bendy being the one showing off the message, until you look into the rest of his gallery and realize that he's been doing this for a while now. He always uses cringy video game fandom characters to put forward his little messages that I assume are meant to irritate people. Let's just look at a couple others to show you what I mean. Here we have a lovely piece titled Sans Likes Trump, and it has Sans holding a sign saying, "I'm pro-Trump." And would Sans really be pro-Trump? That's a good question, but that's besides the point. The point is, this is exactly what this guy has been doing. He's been using things that already make people cringe, and then adding messages to them to make them angry. So this guy is a complete troll, and guess what? There's one other one, and guess what game it is? It's Five Nights at Freddy's, so he has one for each of the cringy video game fandoms I just mentioned. I'm telling you, it's like a cycle here. Five Nights at Freddy's, Undertale, then Bendy and the Ink Machine. And the Five Nights at Freddy's one has quite possibly the most hilarious message of them all. Okay, the past two could have been considered valid political messages, but when you say something like this, there are only two genders, then it's so obvious that you're just trying to annoy people. Yes, it is a fact, there are only two genders, and yes, the people who claim they're a third or fourth gender are under a delusion. But saying this irritates people. And the very fact that you're using Foxy to display the message only adds to the obviousness that you're trying to do that. I also find it hilarious how you're using the Disney font for some reason to display this message. I don't know exactly why that was necessary, but okay. Okay, here we have something that is absolutely priceless. So, this is already pretty random and cringy to begin with, but that's not the main point here. The main point here is this guy tried to make it seem like he drew it on his notebook, but it's just so overwhelmingly obvious that he drew this digitally and then photoshopped it on his notebook. First of all, this isn't how a notebook drawing looks. Second of all, notebook drawings don't usually have pixelification, unless that was the main point of the drawing, but this just seems like it's pixelified because it's digital, not because it was meant to be pixelated. And it's also a dead giveaway that this isn't really on the notebook because the Y in Bendy goes off the frickin' page. So that was a huge mistake on your part. You did a pretty bad job if you were trying to fool people. And I can't even tell when this was done because that number is unrecognizable. It looks like some sort of symbol from an ancient language. I'm not exactly sure how to read that. And seriously, dude, where did you come up with this? Mandy and Bendy? How are these two characters related? I guess they kind of look alike. I guess that's probably what it is, but I don't know. This is still priceless either way. I mean, Bendy could almost be seen as just mediocre at best, but this man, who is supposed to be Henry, just looks terrible. Especially his oversized arms. I mean, for crying out loud, if he stuck his arms down towards the ground, they would touch the ground and he could walk on his arms instead of his legs. How on earth does someone have arms this long? I mean, do you even see what you just drew? I mean, I could see if you just can't draw any better than this, but I would think that you would at least be able to make some appropriately sized arms. And I'd also like to read this description to you. This fan art is about the part where Henry got jump scared by ink monster Bendy and is now trying to get out of this cartoon factory. Factory! I don't know what it's called. Okay, I'm pretty sure cartoons are made in studios, not factories, but I'm assuming this is a little kid, so I'm just going to give him a break, at least on that, but I am not going to give you a break on these oversized arms. Sorry about that. So here we have one of those pictures where you can Photoshop yourself being either kissed by someone or kissing someone else, and this person attempted to do it with Bendy. And, you know, I get it, okay? It's supposed to be she's getting ink all over herself because Bendy is made of ink. But these little spots of ink don't even look like ink. They just look like she took a marker and scribbled on her skin and clothes. I mean, when you get ink on yourself, it doesn't form in lines, at least not usually. It would look a lot more realistic if they were in blots, like this or this. Not like these. I mean, seriously, how lazy can you be? And, I want to know, like, just where the hell does this take place? They look like they're in one of those suitcase x-rays at an airport. That's what this looks like. I don't know if that's what it is, but that's what it looks like, because you have all these, like, gauges and controls, and then a conveyor belt that goes into this machine. And, you can still see the original man that she was supposed to be kissing. And when I first saw this, I thought that this was made by some girl who has an obsession with Bendy. But really, this was made by a man who has an obsession with Bendy, and he wants to be Bendy, and this is supposed to be his girlfriend. And if we go down here, we can see that he calls Bendy's game Bendy on the ink machine. It's Bendy and the ink machine. Here we have someone's Bendy and the ink machine OC. And, do I even need to say anything more? Just look at this. Look at Skull Slobber for yourself. Just take this in. I don't even need to add any words to this. Of course, Thevore didn't waste any time adding their this new fandom. They just couldn't waste any time with that, could they? And, I'm not entirely sure who these two characters are, although I will say that this one is absolutely adorable. I think they're either OCs or characters I don't know of, but there are two problems with this. First of all, how on earth did Bendy swallow them if he doesn't have a neck? Unless he ate them... I'm not even going to say what just went through my head. And, wouldn't his stomach technically be, like, black? Because he's, like, made of ink. Why does he have flesh inside of him if he's made of ink? Of course, Thevore don't really have much in the ways of concepts of reality or how things actually should work, so I guess there's not really a whole lot I can say. Here's something that's kind of funny. So someone wanted to do a gender swap of Bendy, but instead of just actually doing a gender swap, they decided to make it into a foot fetish picture for some reason. And I can't really see any differences with Bendy other than his eyelashes and bow. So you did a very lazy job with the gender swap. It just kind of seems like you didn't really want to do a proper gender swap. This has been Bendy and the Ink Machine fan art with Retro Sprite Resources. If you'd like more videos like this in the future, then please subscribe. By all means, if you find any other cringeworthy accounts or genres in general, please link me up to them. And with that, I'll see you next time.